been playing Jesus for 500 years. Like literally.
Yeah.
Jesus doesn't look anything like Brad
Pitt. You can identify
Pitt.
everything but the children of God. I need my people to wake up and understand that this is a propaganda.
The curse of the Pharaohs are a poor example of what wait for the plantation.
Beware false prophets who come dressed in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves.
You black bastard!
He that stealeth the man.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And I want to welcome everybody to tonight's discussion concerning the covenant and who it was for. We have our brothers tonight, Brother Banya, Yasharal, and Brother Kadar. Real quick, you brothers want to grace the audience? We have our brothers tonight, Brother Banya, Yasharal, and Brother.
Yeah, I just want to say, oh, my bad. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say peace and blessings, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm looking forward to this lesson by the Brother Kadar. And that's pretty much it.
Did it go out?
Brother Kadar.
I'd like to say shalom, everybody. Peace and blessings. And I know y'all all know the word of prayer. Pray for my sister. She's in the hospital. She got kidney failure. So y'all just keep her in prayer. We know that y'all love his people. So,
Amen. We're gonna make sure we do that and lift the Brother Kadar's sister up in prayer, and we're gonna make sure we do that tonight. We're gonna deal with the covenant, and tonight, Brother Kadar is going to bring out some things that he has in his heart concerning the covenant, some things he's been experiencing over the past maybe couple of weeks, been getting into some scuffles with some Christians. What's going on with that, man? Let us know what's going on.
Yeah, I've been talking to some Christians, and when we get to talking about the covenant and everything, and the first thing they run to is Adam. They'll say Jesus died for the whole world. But whenever we look at the covenant, we only see Israel's mentioned. And so hopefully, if some of them, hope they'll be on tonight and see this, and, that we'll see that we can't add to the word. We know that the ethnic Gentiles could, cleave to Israel, but according to the word we're going to see tonight, which I know y'all probably already know, that the covenant is for Israel. And it goes along with the salvation and the redemption.
From some of the stuff you've been experiencing with different people, what would you say is the big mix-up with the covenant that people are having? What's the big misunderstanding that people are having?
That Israel really don't matter no more, that Jesus died for everybody, and they always run back to Adam. Like one of the Christians I mentioned, have you ever read, the Apocrypha, the missing books that they took out and they act like they ain't never heard of it, whatever. So the big mix-up, I say, is that they runs to Adam, and say Adam was the first man to sin. That's why Jesus had to come. But when you go look at scriptures, you see that only Israel's in the covenant. I had somebody say, just because the Gentiles are not mentioned in the covenant, that don't mean that they wasn't in the covenant or something like that. I don't. It's very confusing.
Brother Banya, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, that's a common theme, man. That's a common theme when you conversing with mainstream Christians. You know, mainstream Christianity is basically Eurocentric Christianity. So you're gonna encounter those type of arguments where a lot of different scriptures are just really gonna be disregarded. They're gonna be misinterpreted. They're gonna be denied. For the most part, and they're gonna do that in order to hold up whatever theological view they have. You know, I would like to know within the circles that you were discussing this with, is any particular forums that you was going to where you was encountering these type of arguments?
What you mean? What particular scriptures or?
What particular forum were you in? Was it anybody's YouTube page, Facebook page?
No. It was more. It was on Facebook.
Okay.
They seen us on here, and I don't know. I must sound like the bad guy when it comes to talking about Christians. Man, they always want to mess with me. Why do they ever mess with y'all?
You be starting trouble, bro. Hey, you know how you be doing, bro. Every time I get on there, man, Kadar tearing somebody up.
You know what I think? I come think about it. Might have been Berean shot. I don't know, but they do not like me. Before I came on there, they was messing with me. They say I go too hard on Christians, but see, they got to realize that the people that know me, I used to be in the belief in Christianity. I was a minister there, and like I am now, that's where I was when I was in Christianity. I used to go hard, but if it like the people that know me, they will say something is not right with Christianity, just knowing me the way I used to be in Christianity. I don't, subscribe to Christianity no more. But yeah, I tell you, I get all kinds of messages about them. I go hard on Christianity and his name is Jehovah and all this. I'll be like, what the world?
Hey, listen, we were talking earlier and you said something that was sort of interesting. You said that you brought up a passage to one of them that said that was mentioning something to the effect of us being a special people.
Yeah.
And you said that they told you that didn't mean nothing.
Yeah, they say it don't mean nothing. And Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, when it's talking about us as special people, that he, chose us over all the nations of the earth. And they said, well, being special don't really mean nothing.
Now, I guess, look, that's another level of Christianity, though, huh? When you started doing stuff like that, that's a real spiritual level, right?
Yeah,
that's weird, bro. Being special don't mean nothing. The whole premise of being special is the fact that it's important, that it means something, that it's set aside, that it's that it's consecrated to be special. Right. If being special don't mean nothing, then what's the point of even stating a claim being special?
Yeah.
But why is that even mentioned if it didn't mean anything?
That's right.
I mean, I think it's rough, man, because as Israelites, we always taught that we're not supposed to have any kind of ethnic pride or any kind of dignity about who we are and who our forefathers were. We can look back on some of the things that was really a shame and really horrible choices made concerning our forefathers and some of the choices that we made ourselves. But the Most High knew we was gonna make these choices, and these choices were supposed to be made for us to become, for us to become and be chastised and to be purged of these things. So mistakes have to be made for us to grow. And the Most High, being the loving Father that He is, He didn't force nothing upon us. He let us go our way so that we could learn and to become more like him, you know, and more in line with what he wants us to be. So, you know,
Yeah.
as far as being special, yeah, if he the Most High said it, then I'll roll with that. You know what I mean?
And that's got to mean something,
Yes.
you know. It's got
Yes.
to have meaning.
Yes. I also would say this. When I was in Christianity, I had to go out and look for the fight. I ain't got to do it here. Ain't nobody bothering me in Christianity. I was bothering them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm ready to start. Y'all ready to get it started?
All right. What passage you want to start with
Let's
first?
start with 1 Corinthians, I think it was 15 and 21.
1 Corinthians 15:21. All right, I'm gonna get it pulled up. While I'm pulling this up, brothers and sisters, just so y'all know, this is not a quick hitter tonight. So I know Brother Banya, you gotta go back to work. So he may chime out at some point if he can't continue on in it. But just to let the brothers and sisters know what we have going on tonight on the panel. 1 Corinthians 15:21. All right, can you see that?
I can see it now. Put my glasses on. Okay, yeah. All right. For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. Verse 22. For as in Adam all die, even so in the Mashiach shall all be made alive. So a lot of Christians run to verses like this and they'll say, see, Jesus died for everybody, you know, because I mean, when you read it like that, you know, I can understand why some of them run to this verse and say, well, if you look at Adam, this is why we, you know, he brought along sin, and Hamashiach, he came to die for our sins to bring on everlasting life. So when you read that, I can understand some of them believing that, but some of them are trying to be biased too. So now, if we go to, let's go to the let's go to the New Covenant, because the New Covenant actually talks about the New Covenant and the Old in the sense. So Hebrews 8 through 13, yeah. So when we read Hebrews 8 through 13, we're going to see, do we see everybody mentioned either in the Old or the New, because it actually talks about both of them. Okay, Hebrews 8, start at verse 8. It says, finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said Yahuwah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharal and with the house of Yehuda. And the ruler, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the days that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Mizraim, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, said Yahweh or Yahuwah. Verse 10, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Yasharal. All right, my point here is, you see, we don't see Gentiles nowhere mentioned in this covenant, the old or the new. So what is the problem here? We got a problem when you can go and it tells you Adam brought forth death through the whole world or land or mankind, and the Hamashiach came and he died to bring life. So why don't we see Gentiles mentioned in this covenant? Man, it make you scratch your head. Now, you got anything you want to say on this, brother? Before I go to the next?
I mean, this is and this is the New Testament as well, and this is reflecting on what's in the Old Testament. So if there was a change, this would be the place to see it.
Mm-hmm. We don't see it.
Oh,
Now, you want to go ahead and go to Second Ezra?
yeah.
Let's go to Second Ezra, then we take it from there. Second Ezra is verse 6 and 54. We're gonna bring in the missing pieces to this.
You want me to read it for you and you can expound?
Yeah.
All right. This is Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. It says, after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Adon, or Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Adonai, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Adonai, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Wow. So you see the missing piece that was in there, that we was missing between Adam, and we go to the new covenant or Hebrew. Also, you can read it in Jeremiah 31:31. So we know the separation in Second Ezra 6 and 54, 55, 56. We see the separation there. And the separation is that the other nations is counted as nothing. The only one that he's talking about that come from Adam is Israel. That's what he's talking about. But when we don't see these books that they don't yank out of the Bible, it gets kind of confusing, because you read 1 Corinthians 15, 21, 22, it lets you know that, Adam was the first man, he committed sin, he died and caused sin to come about, and the Hamashiach come to, bring life. So when you read it like that, you can easily say, and I see Christians do this all the time, they go straight to them verses talking about Adam. But then when you go to the covenant, you don't see Gentiles. And then they'll say, well, that don't mean they're not in the covenant because they're not mentioned. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right. you can clearly see that there's a separation between the sons of Adam and a chosen people right here in this passage.
Mm-hmm. And we don't have to, twist, turn, do none of that. All we gotta do is read the scriptures. When you read the scriptures and you ain't got to lie or nothing, it makes, teaching is very easy. I mean, any one of us can do this. We just got to know where the scripture's at now. So, before we go on to the next one, why do our people, why do you think, I just want to ask the question, anybody out there, they can put it up on, why do you think our people so concerned and so worried about Gentiles when the way we've been treated? I'm thinking about my 48 years here on this earth, the way I've been treated. I mean, why are they that concerned? Do you think Christianity has done it to them to make them be like that concerned, or what?
I want to take a few moments and let the chat room address that. Why do we think our people are so concerned about other people and not our own people when it comes to the scriptures and what the Most High's plan is. Let's let the audience chime in on that for a second.
Yeah. Bombo said. Okay. Ellen Bombo is because it can't be just us, because without them, we are reverse racists. Yeah. Yeah. What's Elon F said? Brainwashed. AD said trauma from slavery. Trauma from slavery. Brainwashed. Okay. Yeah, because in slavery they did do. I mean, it was rough, and of course, the brainwashing comes from slavery too.
Self-hate, trauma from slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about fear? Think about this.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen somebody getting bullied and they just be so afraid of the bully, and they try to do everything to appease them and get on their good side and everything, even to the point where they will even defend what they do to a degree, hoping that that'll make them stop.
Oh yeah, yeah. So in other words, and also, do you think with Christianity, fear of Jesus and how they say if you don't love everybody, you going to hell, and if you can't hate and all this, and we know that the Messiah is talking about we need to love one another. I'm not telling people to go around and hate people, but I think that they use these type of tactics against us.
Yeah. Or even like just take a bad relationship, and this is stuff that's on the ground level that people can understand.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Wow. Because self-hate for 400 years being humble and enslaved, afflicted. Yeah. What Sheila say, because they want to estimate that they being subconsciously taught white is right. They don't want to lose what they have. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the audience, we pretty much got an idea. All of these are good explanations.
Well, yeah, Kwamaya says it's the power of the statue of in Daniel. It has an attraction to our people because they love Babylon glory. Yeah, some people. You mentioned about going to wilderness, going to Africa. To our people, they look at you like you're crazy. So,
Absolutely, Christianity has done a number on us. Boule mindset. Yep, all of these are good explanations. And I think it's also how it's always a division between our people, so whenever you speak this truth out, it's just a way to keep a division,
mm-hmm.
Like somebody's going to always try to neutralize what you do. And you can even see that in our history. Whenever somebody stood up, it was always one of our own people to come along and sort of, set aside or take away the potency from what they was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly. And I mean, if we go all the way back to the Hamashiach, who was that? Judas. I mean, even though he was planning on doing it, but that shows that he had been so-called black man.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
So and, you had another, where else you wanted to go?
All right, let's go to Hebrews. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7:6. Because we're gonna go there. And when you get, we're gonna just keep that in mind when we read this, because a lot of okay, where is it at? Man,
Right here.
put my okay.
It says Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy Elohim. Yahweh thy Elohim have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth."
Now, of course, Christianity say special people don't mean nothing. Also, they'll say we ain't no better than nobody else. I said, well, see, the scripture says we are. And then they'll say, well, that don't mean. I said, what you mean? What did that? I mean, we read this right here, and they even deny that. I mean, now this Christian person, they know they're Israelite, and they don't want to accept that they are chosen to be above all nations.
Yep. Yep.
Can you imagine playing or somebody playing on your basketball team as good as Michael Jordan, and you know this? And I said, look, man, you're the best player on the team. We want you to take the last second shot. No, I ain't. Don't give it to me. I'm not the best. I don't want you to take a shot neither. You're going to miss it. You already saying you're not. So this is what our people do. And so whenever I take them there to show them that, yes, you are chosen according to the Most High, and they still not want to accept that. Yeah, Christianity blind. Yeah, so that they don't want to accept that. And I'm thinking, man, this right here proves that we was chosen above, out of the earth, over all people. But what they'll say is, I don't think I'm better than nobody else. Well, you know, that right there to me is a Christianity we all equal set that we was learned, that we learned in Christianity. We all equal. You know, everybody's the same, but we are chosen to be above, and that's why I think it's hard for us to get over the hump, because we want equality, but actually we're supposed to be above.
Absolutely. You know, and that's what the Most High said. He said if we obeyed him, we would be the head, and if we disobeyed him, we would be the tail. And so at no point did he assure us that we will be equal. He said that the strangers that come in among us will rise up above us very high, and we will be brought down very low. And to add to what you're saying, man, were you going to read verses 7 and 8?
You keep going. That's pretty good. Yahuwah did not. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I got to put my glasses on. I can't see this.
Okay. It says Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, but because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. So I wanted to highlight the love that the Most High says that he has for our people. You know, we're the only people whose God is the God of the people. We're the only people whose God has claimed us and said with his own mouth that he loves us. No other people can say that their God has given them this honor. You know, no other people can say that their God has claimed to love them and claimed to be the God of them. All the other nations worship idols.
That's right.
But we have the true and living Elohim, and he said that he loved us. So I just wanted to highlight that.
Also, what you read when it part, he says that he brought us up out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand to what? Redeem us. It goes back what you and Brother Banyal was talking today about salvation with that too. That's a pretty good verse too. I'll just what you just
Yeah.
read. Yeah. But getting back to this covenant, right? So we know that he chose us because he loved us, not because we was great in numbers. We are few in numbers. And now we scattered here and there, and we few in numbers wherever we at because we scattered. But when we come together, we're going to be great in number. But we scattered in corners now, or, around the world. So after reading that, let's go to Isaiah 40 and 17. Now, Isaiah 40 and 17 is a good verse, but if you read the whole chapter and you get to Isaiah 17, you'll realize, but that's why I went to their Deuteronomy 76, so everybody can see that he chosen us to be above all nations. That's thing that we have to keep in mind. We get to Isaiah 40 and 17. Isaiah 40 and 17 said, all nations before, all nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. So all the other nations we read in Ezra's, 2nd Ezra 6:54, he split it up Israel with the sons of with Adam, which all has come from Adam, but he took the other nations come from Adam. He said they are nothing like spittle. And right here, it's a precept to that and said the same thing. And we see the separation from Israel and the other nations. This is why you don't see other nations in that covenant. He made a covenant with Israel, not the whole world or Gentiles, so to speak. But yet still, Christianity would come around here and say, oh no, Jesus died for everybody. Well, if he died for everybody, that right there is supposed to spark the new covenant in the upcoming near future, quote unquote, I hope, what I'm praying for. So if he died for everybody, that means you should be listed in the new covenant. That means I don't have to run to books like Paul and John and try to say them Gentiles is what they saying all they got to do is receive Jesus, Lord and Savior, and they saved. Because if that was the case, why aren't they listed in the new covenant? That's what we have to do. It don't make sense. You got anything you want to say on that?
Yeah. When we read the book of Daniel, chapter 9, it mentions how it says that and Messiah shall be cut off. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And so one of the common misunderstandings that people make is that when the Mashiach came to be a sacrifice, is that was him making the covenant, when that was in actuality him confirming the covenant that was made with our forefathers. So as we mentioned before, confirmation is not the actual thing itself. If you make a purchase, you receive a confirmation number, and that confirmation number is proof that when this thing that you purchase comes, that it belongs to you, because the confirmation number is tied to that purchase. So it's the same thing. When he came, he confirmed the covenant with our people, the covenant that he made with our forefathers. And so when we enter into the wilderness, then he's gonna bring us into the bond of the covenant, and from there we go into the promised land. But that's all that I have. Yeah.
That's that. What, Ezekiel 20?
Yeah.
Ezekiel 20 verses 32, 38. One of my verses. But that's when he said, I'm gonna bring you to the bond of the covenant. So it let us know the same way we got like a renewed covenant, but the same way we got the first covenant, right? We enter into the land. Why? Because we can practice the laws. So whenever people say the law is done away with, or we in a new covenant, how can we be completely in a new covenant And how can we force the laws of Yahuwah, all of them, as a nation, if we don't have a country or a place to do that? So how in the world are we going to be in the new covenant if we're not in, quote unquote, we're not in our land? And that's something that a lot of people don't get. They say we in the new covenant. And then Christians, as Holland, they are in the covenant, and they're hollering they in the covenant, and then they'll say we in the new covenant, and they wrong about both things. Now, what's that verse talks about when they basically, why they worried about my covenant and they trying to take it? Is that Psalms 50? Do you remember that?
Psalm chapter 50.
Let's go there. Before we go there, I want to read some of these comments. They getting it in online right here. I'm looking.
All right. I'm going to pull it up. Psalm 50. Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Yep. Let's see what you got. What kind of comments you got?
Okay, now Joey Jace said they do not read the Bible, probably have not read it from Genesis to Revelation. No, they don't. They just, I guess they go along with the pastor say. Because the stuff they come out, the stuff that I heard, what they say to me, like just because we're not mentioned in the covenant, that don't mean we ain't not the covenant. What he didn't die for us. Something they say something crazy like that. What's Bonbo said? If he died, if he died for everybody, why we ain't got peace and order?
Yeah.
Yeah. So was son of Bonbo said, if the sun still shines, you see the stars, then the Most High still has chosen people. Yes. Which means
Jeremiah.
Yeah. That's that audience. Yeah. Yeah.
That's Jeremiah 33.
Jeremiah 33. A lot of people think Yahuwah wash his hands of the children. Yeah, they think he done away with us. Yeah, they do, don't they? And I think that's what a lot of Christians believe. Oh, because they think the Northern Kingdom, because Northern Kingdom to them is done away with, and we know that the Northern Kingdom. Man, y'all gonna bring it out, but the Northern Kingdom is what Paul and them was doing, what the Hamashiach and them was going out and bringing the fold back together. Which we can see that in Ezekiel 37, you talk about the two sticks. That's what the gospel, part of the gospel too, is about. Is the kingdom of what y'all was talking about earlier today. The kingdom of God is at hand. So you got to we're going to become one kingdom.
Oh, man. Check this out.
Yeah. I got news that my brother passed in his home. This morning. I'm actually prayerful. Man. Buried my sister's husband last Saturday. Oh, man. Yes, we definitely. I'll go out to you, brother. Definitely keep Brother Donovan being Judah in prayer.
Brother Donovan, if you should have, I don't know if you have Brother the Side of the Earth email. That's Side of the Earth 144@gmail.com. And let me put this banner up right here. And this is my email right here. All right. Make sure you reach out to one of us as soon as you can. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. We definitely gonna be upholding you.
Yes.
So everybody lift up our brother Donovan Ben Judah in your prayers. Pray for his family. Pray that the Most High keep them strong, you know, through this time that they're going through.
And you see, he posted, he said, the brother, he was walking this truth. Man, I'm so glad he had waken up. Praise Yah. It's good. I know who he was. Mm-hmm.
Man.
All right, now.
But yeah, those kind of things, you know, I understand, man, what it's like to take a loss, you know, especially somebody close like that. So make sure you reach out to us, though, as soon as you can.
Yes.
But that Psalms 50 in verse 16 is what you wanted.
Yeah.
It's talking about if you read prior to that, it's talking about delivering his people, you know, in the day of trouble. But then it goes into talking about the wicked. In verse 16, he says, but unto the wicked, Elohim said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Now, what's the precept that says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked?
Let's see if I can find that.
Who is that referring to?
The hands of the wicked today. I think it's Esau.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
You see the Esau. But what's that at? The earth is.
Peace and blessings, Brother Sean. Man, you know, I be noticing Brother Sean, every time he come in, he come with a grand intro. Might have to start giving Brother Sean the link as soon as he come in. Just
Job 9
intro.
Job 9:24. Oh, okay.
Job 9:24.
Yeah.
Okay. He said he just finished throwing haymakers over on Berean's channel.
Woo! So, but you know the part where you read, it says, you know, they trying to take the covenant and the statutes, and that's what they had done. And they try to do it today. Like I said, when they talk to them, they'll say, oh, we mentioned in the new covenant, Cherry Love, I debated her, took her to Hebrews 8. And I said, read Hebrews 8 through 13. She going to start at the first verse and read the whole chapter. So you know she was looking. I said, you ain't going to find a Gentile in there. And they was mad as fire. But yeah. Instead of just reading what I say, I guess she thought I was lying. I don't know. But that's what they trying to do. They trying to basically take the covenant, take the statutes in their own way, what Christianity has done, you know, make their own rules.
Yeah.
The sin to wear pants, and it's a sin to drink wine. It's a sin to even play music. And you won't find none of that under the law, but yet still it's okay to eat pork. Yeah, you can do that. You eat pork all day long. Shrimp, lobster, no, you can do that. It's crazy. And that's what they did. No, yeah. They taking the tradition, the same thing with the Hamashiach it's talking about in, what's that? Is that Mark 7? I think it is Mark 7.
When he talked about they made the commandments of the Most High of no effect by their traditions.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what Christianity has done. Because I also had this Christian person tell me there's no law for lying in the Bible. Man, I said, what? Leviticus 19. look. I was like, who? I said, I said, who in the world is telling no lawful lying? Oh my God.
Yeah. Hey, check this out though. It says, he said, "What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" That's when they talking about we under the new covenant and everything.
Yep.
But watch this. He said, "Seeing thou hatest instruction," right? "Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee." Now I want to pause right there. I'm gonna show you something right quick.
Okay.
You can see this, huh? This is the Dead Sea Scrolls right here.
Okay.
Now watch this. Keep in mind what we just read. All right, let me find that. That's right here. He said, "What hast thou do to take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing that thou hatest instruction and cast my words behind thee?" Watch this. He says, hold up. He says, "But the wicked," because we're talking about the wicked, right? "The wicked thou didst create for the time of thy wrath. Thou didst vow them from the womb to the day of massacre. For they walk in a way which is not good. They have despised thy covenant. Their souls have loathed thy truth. They hate the truth. And they take no delight in all thy commandments, and have chosen that which thou hatest." So these same people he talking about right here, the wicked, he said that they hate instruction and they cast his words behind them. Same thing they doing right here. They despise the covenant. They loathe the truth. They take no delight in all the commandments, and they have chosen that which thou hatest. But notice it said that he vowed them from the womb to the day of massacre.
So all right, I think I got a precept with that. Now he vowed them from the womb to the day of massacre, right?
Yeah.
Who else he basically hated from the womb? Romans 9.
Romans 9. Hold on, let's go there.
Esau.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated.
But he also explains he hated Esau before yes, he created him, but he already hated him in the womb. But see, a lot of Christians I say, oh, he hated Esau because no, they'll say he didn't hate Esau, he hated his sin. But the scriptures don't say that. That's what they say.
Right.
It goes along with that what we just read right here. Wow.
Now, how can these people say that they're under the new covenant when right here it says that they hate instruction, right? They hate instruction and they loathe the truth, and they take no delight in the commandments. And as a result of that, they despising the covenant. So how can they claim to be under the new covenant when they despising it by loathing the truth and hating instruction and taking no delight in the commandments?
There's no way.
We're not telling you you don't have to keep the commandments.
That's right.
But that's all I had on that, bro. I just wanted to add to that real quick. That's Psalms 50.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Went to the Dead Sea. I think you said you had something else over there. You remember?
What's going on?
The Dead Sea Scrolls, or what was that the other book? Jubilee.
Jubilees. Yeah.
Yeah, bring it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I had it pulled up already. Let me pull up another one here. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Okay. Can you? Well, y'all can't really see that.
No.
But let me find the section I want.
Long live the kings. That's right, Sean.
Okay. This is when he was in the creation. This is chapter 1, Jubilees chapter 1, verse 24. But this ain't the part I want, but this is just going sort of a prelude into that. It says, and to this Jacob and his seed, it was granted that they should always be the blessed and holy ones of the first testimony and law, even as he has sanctified and blessed the Sabbath day on the seventh day. So what he's saying is that he blessed Jacob and his seed and sanctified them and blessed them, saying that they will always be the blessed and holy ones of the first testimony. All right. So he pretty much set aside or separated them from all the other people. Let me see. Now, I had this pulled up, man. Let me see. And the fifth, sixth day, that is pretty man altogether. Sixth day. And Prince. Okay, here it is. Because we're talking about the covenant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know what he said concerning the Sabbath in Exodus 31. He said that the Sabbath is a sign between him and the children of Israel for a perpetual covenant. Now, this is the account from Jubilees during the creation. And we're going to see what the Most High had in his mind during that time when he established his Sabbath day. It says, verse 19, he said, and he said unto us, behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all peoples, and these will keep the Sabbath day, and I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them as I have sanctified the Sabbath day, and do sanctify it unto myself. Even so shall I bless them, and they will be my people, and I shall be their God. And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep Sabbath thereon from all work. All right, so just letting you know that in the beginning, when the Most High established his holy day, and he sanctified it from all the other days, that he also sanctified a people from that time. And during that time, we know that the Israelites weren't around during that time. But this is letting you know what the Most High had in his mind from the beginning. He had his people in his mind from the beginning, a covenant people. He said that these should be his people forever.
So we see here that he's talking about a physical seed. You'll get a Christian say, oh, it's spiritual. It's this spiritual. No, it's not. This is a physical seed. Then it says, he said to keep the Sabbath. It's a sign to me, from his people to God, from God to his people, of his people to God. So it's a sign. So where in Christianity do they teach Christians to hold up on that Sabbath? And ain't good and well, they don't even mention that. They said they do it on the 8th day or the first day of the week. And they also claim to a spiritual Israel thing. I heard an Israelite guy say that too on the famous Berean channel, Spiritual Israel. I said, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this was gets me. All right. I ain't gonna call the names, but I heard some Israelites on there. They'll say, oh yeah, Gentiles, they can receive salvation, but they don't tell the truth about that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't tell that according to the scriptures, it can be handsmaids and servants. They don't say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop sugarcoat, tell the truth. And that's all they have to do. You know.
I mean, what other choice would there be anyway once they start to really understand the level of destruction that the Most High has in his heart?
Yeah.
To bring on them. You know, what
they
would
don't
be
talk about that.
What would be in your best interest if you have to choose between being destroyed on the spot or being a servant?
You're gonna be a servant.
You know, especially if your heart ain't right. But watch this. This is verse 31. He said, and the creator of all things blessed it, talking about the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Sabbath their own, but Israel alone.
Wow.
Them alone he permitted to eat and drink and to keep Sabbath their own on the earth. All right. Because Jubilees will let you know that the Sabbath is observed in the heavens too. The Most High has a special class of angels that observe the Sabbath as well in the heavens. And that's what's being done now. And it says that the land is observing her Sabbath too. So the Sabbath is still being kept right now as we speak.
Well, I tell you what, then, if that's the land over there where these jokers claim to be us, then
no, that ain't it.
That's what I'm saying. It says it's gonna be desolate.
Yeah. And it said the land shall keep her Sabbath.
Yes. Yes.
You know, so just letting you know, just like the Sabbath day is sanctified from all other days, the Most High chose him a people and set them apart from all other people. You know, the Sabbath day is the holiest day of all days.
Yeah.
So the same magnitude that the Most High gave his Sabbath is the same magnitude that he gave his people.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how Goodwin, I hope I'm saying his name right, says that, well, I was saying the same thing. That's right. He said that what he see on there, Israel, who go on his channel to Berean, they hold back and don't tell the whole truth. Yeah, scared. I'm like, why are y'all scared? They'll say, oh, so you do. I heard them ask them, are y'all trying to say y'all above all people? Oh, no, we're not saying that. And I'll be like, what are you talking about? Do it right. You know, don't say we. Okay, I didn't see it, but y'all see it. And give them scripture. Oh, man, they scared. They hold back. I'm like, man, no. See, that's soft Israel trying to get people to accept them. You know, I'm tired of doing that. If they don't forget that. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
And she had a question from Friday, talking about the Shabbat. It says from Friday shutdown to Saturday shutdown. Now, when you look in the scriptures, it do look like it would be like that, but you know the fews do that, and sometimes I wonder, is that the right way? Them suckers, boy. It's hard to trust anything they do, you know.
Yeah. But
you know, it do seem like that is it from sun up to sundown, from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, I guess.
A handmade servant application.
Say what?
He said he asked the Berean channel if they want handmaids and servant applications.
Oh, you that's what's that, man?
Yeah.
He say zero responded. hey, brother man, that right there should be a next good lesson right there. Ask anyone if they want handmaids and service application. Because this get ready to go down.
Man.
I like that. That's right, Bo and Bo. Good job, good job.
You know, one of the things when it comes to the Sabbath, you know, we don't really have a lot of the information as it pertains to the Sabbath. We know that it's the seventh day, you know, and we know that it's the seventh day according to the system that he established, not according to the system that we're in. But another thing to keep in mind when it comes to the Sabbath is I'm gonna read verse 20. He said, "And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep Sabbath thereon from all work." All right. So notice he said, "I will teach them the Sabbath."
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, that goes along with the wilderness. We're going to learn everything definitely there because we've been stripped, man. So
Yeah.
that's why I say, yes, I mean, we in the land of captivity. Like I had to work last Saturday. I mean, what do you do? I mean, last year when they kept making us work, I kept staying out. I couldn't come in. Then they wrote me up, say, "Man, you can't do that." I say, "I'm an Israelite," and they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. We got
But
to get the seed
but
in
I
our
will say this, y'all: if you can do it, but if somebody that don't do it, I wouldn't say you going to hell, blah blah this, because we're in the land of captivity now. Once we in our land, whoo, that's so. We're gonna be in charge. Well, the Hamashiach gonna be in charge, but we as people. So we're gonna be able to. We ain't gonna have no excuses or nothing because we ain't gonna tell nobody work on the seventh day like they do in America. So
right. Now check this out. Because what was that? Sister said she want to be more serious about keeping the Sabbath. So the only thing, like the brother said, the most you can do is the best you can while we in this captivity. Don't let nobody judge you or condemn you. If you have to work on that day, do what you have to do, because we're subject to the kingdom that we're under. But watch this, just something to keep in mind when you're dealing with the Sabbath. It said, "And thus he created." Oh, let me start back up here. He said, "I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep Sabbath thereon from all work." And it says, "And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should keep Sabbath with us." Okay. All right. So this is one of the things that when it comes to the Sabbath, a lot of people don't have knowledge of, because number one, we reject these other texts, but then think about, I think that's in Lamentations, where it says that he caused the Sabbaths and the feasts to be forgotten in Zion.
Yeah, right? Yeah, there was. I think he rejected. I forgot what they was doing, but of course they was in mourning. But they was doing something. So whenever, in other words, they was doing it in vain. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So he said he caused the Sabbaths and feasts to be forgotten in Zion. So if they were forgotten in Zion, that means that they couldn't be known anywhere else. And one of the ways that he caused it to be forgotten is by right here, you're reading about the sign that he created. So what was this sign? I don't want to get deep into it right now, but just letting brothers and sisters know that when it comes to our history, it's a lot we don't fully understand. And that's why we can't fully observe things in this captivity according to the law and according to the proper order. The most we can do is like how the scriptures say, recall ourselves in the land of our captivity.
Yeah, Baruch.
See brothers and sisters doing.
Baruch chapter 2, verse 30 says, we will, I'm paraphrasing, remember ourselves in the land of captivity and seek the laws, start to seek the laws. So, and that's what's going on there, you know. We recognize that we've been bamboozled. And Linda Rick said, I don't trust anything ish. Because see, a lot of stuff they do, I believe that them suckers, man. I don't trust nothing they do. They wear this little thing on their head, and I don't trust nothing they do. Everything they do, I just don't trust. But I see some camp guys running around with that star and all that. You know, I know I heard brothers say that they did have like a 5-point star, not a 6 in Israel. I don't know how true it is, but I just don't trust nothing they do. I don't want to follow nothing they do, you know. So, but getting back to the Sabbath, the reason we was on that is to show people that it's a sign between God and his people. And so did a sign between God and, you know, everybody? No, God and Israel. So the Sabbath is a sign between God and his people, and that's part of the covenant. So how in the world everybody is listed in the covenant? There are not. It's only Israel is listed in the covenant. And so whenever Christianity come up with this stuff, all you got to do is ask them, show me a scripture. Now, these new Bibles, y'all, they coming out with they might have it in there. But I always pull from the 1611 or, you know, old King James, because these new Bibles, they might have it in there, Israel and Gentiles. And
No, they got different versions now, so you never know.
Yeah. So make sure you say King James, the old King James, because they just a pull from that new stuff come out. I wonder, they got even in these new, man, even in the King James, I think they got something to say police in there. Yeah, then you know, couldn't wear what nobody called on.
Look, it'll be the spiritual Christian version.
Yeah, you open up this Bible. Oh, Israel and spiritual Israel. What?
Yeah.
And please, y'all, don't do like Alton, read from the NIV and try to debate people, and then try to say the NIV is older than the King James version, and we know the NIV comes from, I think comes from Alexandria. I think that's where the text comes from. That's, you know, that sounds correct from the get-go. Why you got a book that comes from Alexandria? Huh?
Oh man. Come on, man.
Where the copy from? What I'm saying. That sound corrupt off the top. And they know what they're doing because oh my God. I said, you remember debating when we went to Revelation 68, and he read that. I said, what? I said, hey man, read King James. I said, what you reading? And he was like, what's the difference? I said, hey, that's something right.
Like, that's too animated, man. That's too spiritual, man. Your Bible too spiritual, man.
Israel said, yeah, I'm gonna sell myself. Come and get me, y'all. Man, get out of here.
Man, look at this though.
Yeah.
Let me get it. Okay, here we go. You know this one and you like this one. Hold on. Let me close some of these out because these things have my whole list all on. Watch this. Chapter 2, 2 Thessalonians.
Yeah.
Chapter 2.
11. Which one?
Start at verse 7 and say, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now let it will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Adonai shall consume with the ruach of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Right? Talking about the wicked one. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. Ain't that what we read in over here?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The souls loathe the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, and for this cause, hold on, and for this cause, Elohim shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. So this, I brought this out because this passage sort of reveals the true magnitude of what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
When you deal with people who despise the truth. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Hosea 4 and 6, even go as far as talk about our people. And some of that's talking about our people too. Because we got people stuck in these Christianities and Islam and Israelism and Scientologists. And man, I seen, what's that new thing they got out? Egyptologists, African spirituality. Man, this stuff is really out there. I never seen so many different religions in my life. In the last 4 years, maybe I've been blind because I was in Christianity, but in the last 4 years, oh my gosh, so many different. So our people are stuck in that, and when you read these scriptures, they don't believe the truth. They want to keep believing the lie. Just like when I showed them Deuteronomy 7, Israel's chosen to be above all nations. And basically they said they don't believe it. I'm like, well, damn. Okay. So, yeah.
And my whole thing is when the Most High tells us that his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts, where does that apply? Because most Christians are under the belief that we're all equal. There is no Jew, no Greek, no male, no female in Christ. We're all equal. We're all the same. All right. But then if the Most High is telling us that his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts, and that he's chosen him a people, all right, at what point do we take that into consideration? Because to say that everybody is equal, isn't that like a concept that the world takes on now and believes, even though it's a false sense of, it's a false ideology, it's not true. But then a lot of people still gravitate to that in their mind, that we're all equal, right?
Yep.
Ain't nobody greater than the next. But then that's not biblical, and from what we've been seeing, that's definitely not the way of the Most High. You know, we've been reading how he sanctified him a people from the beginning. You know, even before Israel came about, he already sanctified them and set them apart to be his chosen. So that should, if anything, testify to the I don't even know the word for it, but the excitement that the Most High, the zeal that he had in his heart to bring his people about. You know, the fact that he had them in his plans from the beginning. You know, before Jacob was even born, he already set them apart and put them above all other people. Before they even became a nation, he already put them on top. So, you know, this is just, you hear us, we chop it up on here all the time, but the scriptures bear witness to the magnitude of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, we're going to get up here and just say, you know, this is my opinion, all this, but, you know, oh, this one last thing, y'all. I know everybody probably getting sleepy. I know I am. Hey, I worked 15 hours today, so I don't know what I'm talking about. I had a Christian tell me, and bless her heart, she really do know the word, but she said it's okay to read one scripture and have 3 or 4 interpretations. You can read.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I said, oh Lord. This is stuff what Christianity told and said that I was keeping God in a box, because I said that's not what the scriptures say. I mean, you said it, but they, oh, you keeping God in the box. I say, you got to realize this is a book written to us, about us, and definitely about the Hamashiach. That's the main road for us. He's coming for his people. It wasn't written for you can look at it and make stuff up in your head and say this is what it means and this is what it means and this is what it means. How would you like, you go read the book of Moby Dick and it's talking about this big whale? Well, I think it's spiritual. I don't really think it's a whale. What kind of sense is that? Yeah, this is what they do. And this is what they think is right. And they add and taking away, making prophecies up in the head about the scripture.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna use the ladies for example on this one. You know, growing up, females used to like love letters, and so imagine a guy that you like or that you've been attracted to and you want to talk to you. Imagine him writing you a letter and then another girl steal your letter and read it and apply it to herself. Everything that he said and wrote in there for you, now she read it and now, you know, take it on herself, and now she think, you know, it's meant for her.
Yeah.
And don't even include you nowhere in it.
That's meant for me.
You got your name in it and everything.
Yeah. But
it might have your nickname in there. So because it got your nickname in there, she just say, you know what, I like him too. And so I want this to be for me.
Take friends, just like the scripture you read right here. It said all verse 10, and with all deceivableness and righteousness in them shall perish, because they receive not the love of the truth. Now, if you read that and go back to the precept, well, you ain't got to go back, but the precept you read, also Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 said, my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge, because they reject truth.
Yeah.
See, all them verses get together as witnesses to this and explaining it. You can't read this and say, oh, because they have received not the love of the truth. Oh, when I read that, I think about, that when I be talking to my mama and she don't I tell her something, she don't want to receive it, and I'm talking about how she getting her hair done. I mean, what the world? But that's what they do. Getting the hair done. What they got to do with that? But that's what they would do. This is crazy. Now they don't twist that whole scripture and says talking about. I'm telling my mama she should go to another hairdresser. Crazy. Yeah.
She didn't love the truth, man. She got a bob when she should have got a weave, I tried to tell her. Now people laughing.
This is the scripture right here. I mean, this is the stuff. And I tried. I was like, listen, please, that is not right. You can't do that. But Christianity got our minds so wrong. First, they say they in the covenant. They can't find themselves mentioned in the covenant, but they in the covenant. But this is the thing. Gentiles can cleave to Israel. And the scriptures tells you that. Now, that's one thing about it. We're going to tell the truth. We ain't going to get on Berean's channel. I know I ain't. And sugarcoat nothing. We got to tell the truth because the truth is in the scriptures. We ain't just going to say, yeah, Gentiles are accepting this. No, we got to tell the truth. And just like what we doing now is handmaids and servants. And some of us are in captivity, locked up in prison. Well, a lot of us is in captivity, locked up in prison today. I mean, in hard captivity. We all still in Atlanta captivity. So when you go back and look at my famous verse, I heard you say that earlier, Brother Eric, Isaiah 14.
Yeah.
That's my verse. When you look at that, Isaiah 14, it says, we're going to take them as handmaids and servants. If they was in the covenant, I'm just saying, why would they would be handmaids and servants? But we're going to rule in a good way. We ain't going to sit there and treat nobody. To be honest, we don't even have that type of spirit now, even though we in the land of our captivity. I'm talking about upscale Israelites. I ain't talking about nobody out here on drugs and going crazy. I'm talking about we don't have that type of spirit now. As we just don't react that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
And even some of the people you mentioned that's homeless, on drugs, or whatever, even some of them, if you listen to some of them, they got some sort of awareness, more than what you might think,
But I wasn't talking about them type of homeless on drugs. Them good. Trust me, they're good. I'm talking about the ones that's they got nice stuff, rides, and they on drugs. Them the ones. But they would kill you because they want some money. I'm talking about them type.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare put. I don't like putting nobody down. Sure don't want to put my brothers and sisters down. I'm just saying that the ones I hear, like in other words, go to Southeast DC. You go there, I'm sorry. Man, I'm here to tell you. You go let me ride up there tonight and jump out of the car with some jewelry on me. Oh, I might be ready. They'll be ready to kill you.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's what I'm talking about, them type. But let's say, brother, they don't want to cleave, they want to be the people. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a lot of them don't. And it's sad because when I thought that they was the people, man, I would see them and I would be like asking them all these questions and they couldn't answer. And I used to be like, what's the big deal? How it feels to be, a descendant of God's people. They was looking at me like I was crazy. I guess they probably say you are the people.
Yeah. But I remember some years back, man, being in Christianity and everything. I remember visiting a church.
Mm-hmm.
I was living in Jefferson City, Missouri. One of my cousins, I lived up there for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and visited a church because this guy invited me. They were having like a cookout or something, but it was a mostly white church.
Yeah.
And it had some black people there. But when I got there, man, I remember this one white dude just looking at me like he just wanted, like he just had that look,
Mm-hmm. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
And I was just wondering, like, now why is this dude looking? So I'm looking at him, and he looking off and everything, and just keep looking back up at me, So I'm like, damn, I didn't.
Hold up. Did he like you?
I don't know. My whole thing is, my thing is, little do he know, I'm invited here, so I'm the one really having to put off the truth. I'm the one having to fake in front,
Yeah.
So I'm a Christian, I'm a believer in everything. So I go and it's like, okay, I'm not feeling the equality. I'm not feeling the acceptance. The one white dude, he tried, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was like putting you in a bad situation. Like how what's that movie? Remember the Titans?
Yeah. Good movie.
When the dude was telling them, like, man, nah, I don't want to go in here. And he was like, no, just come on, man. It's all right. I got you. Don't worry about nothing. So he get in there, and all the other white folks just, start going off on him. And so he's like, man, I told you this is how it's going to be, and not to say that it's like that in every situation, but that was the experience I had in that situation, It's like, why is this dude looking at me like this? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's something that you said, remember the Titans, right?
Yeah.
Well, I live 36 miles from that school. Wow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. When I worked for Coke, I used to deliver Coca-Cola products at that school. Yep. And the running back, the black guy that played the running back, he when I used to go over there, he was still working there. Janitor, I talked to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I've visited a few churches, man, mixed congregations, and to me it was all no problem, you know what I mean?
But you said he kept looking.
Yeah, he just kept looking at me like, and me, I'm not the quick respond type, but after a while, once I peep that you keep looking at me, I'm gonna get curious and wonder what you're looking at me for,
Oh, hey. I may catch y'all. Look at this in the car.
She said, she
graduated from TC Williams. Wow, okay. Yeah. Right there off 29. I used to live not far from there. Well, Alexandria, Fort Bedwar. I used to live up there too. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, y'all in that loop, that belt.
Yeah. Beltway Sniper. Hey, Beltway Sniper. I show you one of the stores where they shot them people at too. Up here. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that Christianity, it taught me a lot,
Yeah.
In terms of people, just looking back on it. And, the religion itself, you can't really fault it because it's the people, you know what I mean? Like Christianity, I guess when you looking at it as a religion, from a principle standpoint, nobody has really practiced it, and when we do, it's more so the customs and the paganism. But over the years, you try to deal with the messages and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I guess that's only to a certain degree, it can only get you to a certain point until you start dealing with the real truth of the matter, But I've had some experiences, man, with that Christianity and visiting them other churches and stuff.
Well, I tell you what I like to do. We all should get together and go back to that church.
Go what? Go back to the church. What you said?
Yeah, go back to the. We all should get together and go back to that church. See if you see that same dude.
Oh, we have to go to a cookout.
Yeah, but you know they had a Church of Satan over there, up there where I used to stay. When I stayed in the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah.
And this dude, this black guy, this other black guy told me, guys working me. He said that they was talking to some girls that led them there. Say they walked in there, say they had a black book on the table. They say if you love Satan, say hallelujah or something. And he said he went to the bathroom and said they ran up out of there. They're spinning tires everywhere. Man, it's I wouldn't even. I mean, when you even look up the word church, it's not even a church for a word named church in Hebrew. So in it's a Celtic word, it means circle. So you go to Stonehenge. I really believe that right there is where it comes from. Stonehenge, because it's a circle. And that's where I think it comes from. But these steeples, they had nothing to do with us.
No.
People have nothing to do with us or Israel, at all. So when people don't understand, that's more as an architect of Edomites,
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with us, but people just Christianity, they want to be in the covenant, but they want us to follow Roman Catholic ways. So
yeah.
And then last thing, I had a lot of stories to tell about Christian. They're gonna say, yeah, I believe we the Israelites. I said, yeah. I said, that's why it says come out of her for false religion. And they're gonna say, yeah, we need to come out of Islam, Judaism, and what they Mormon and the Catholic Church. I'm saying, what about Christianity?
Yeah.
Crazy. I said it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So, but it's 11:10. I get up off. I gotta go back and go to sleep. Cindy Carr said I was ducking from DC snipers. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Over up his way.
Yeah. Well, brothers and sisters, we as always, this is a session dealing with the covenant and who it was for, just solidifying that some more. And this is a prelude to the upcoming presentation that Brother Bunya has coming up, and dealing with the covenants, who the Gentiles are, salvation, just basically showing who the book is really about and who it's for. For once and for all, we're using the gift that the Most High has given us of being able to see the truth and present it. And so hopefully this is helpful, and edifying, and even to those who are of other ethnicities who may see this, this is a beacon of truth. This is not to say that nobody can be saved, but salvation is for people. All right. The covenant is for people. This is the Most High's intention. This is his plan, and this is his pleasure, And so we're going to go ahead and close out. I want to thank y'all for joining in. We're going to let Brother Kadar close us out.
All right. Well, peace and blessings, y'all. Take care. Get some good rest tonight. Remember, pray for our loved ones, Brother Donovan, Ben Judah. Say a prayer for my sister. And that's about it. Shalom. Peace.
Peace and blessings, y'all. And remember, keep our brothers in your prayers, Brother Kadar and Brother Donovan. All right. And Brother Donovan, make sure you reach out to us through the email, salt of the earth 144 at Gmail and ebrestore@gmail.com. All right. Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Y'all have a good night. Peace, Brother Kadar.
All right, peace.